And that's a memo. Now for the top story, reaction joining us from Tulsa, Oklahoma, Fox News analyst Sarah Palin, who endorsed Christine O'Donnell. So, Governor, what do you think about Mr. Rove's comments?
Well, it wouldn't be prudent of me either to get into a tussle with Karl Rove, as you say, but what the heck? Let's go ahead and do it. Some of these good old boys, and I have nothing against Karl Rove personally, you know, he's the expert, but Bill, some of these folks, they are saying that people like Christine O'Donnell and others, Tea Party Americans, can't win because they don't want them to win. Because they know that a Christine O'Donnell, a Joe Miller from Alaska, in gubernatorial races like Susana Martinez and Nikki Haley, these folks are going to shake it up. And they are going to do what's right for America, not necessarily what is right for a political party machine.
But I have to get a little more specificity from you.
And that brings us to what remains, I am stunned to say, what remains the great, unacknowledged, big, honking policy issue in this year's elections nationwide. We're now able to add yet another Republican Senate nominee to the roster of truly radical, anti-abortion crusading candidates in this year's elections. Now, just being anti-abortion is almost mandatory for Republican candidates across the board these days as the party continues its purge of its moderates. But what we have this year is beyond just being anti-abortion. There are now at least 5 Republican Senate nominees, 5, who not only think that the government should outlaw abortion nationwide, they think there should be no exceptions made for anybody who's the victim of incest or who's the victim of rape.
How do you feel about abortion? Are you for abortion, against abortion? If you're for it, in what instances would you allow for abortion?
I am pro-life, and I'll answer the next question. I don't believe in the exceptions of rape or incest.
Is there any reason at all for an abortion?
Not in my book.
So in other words, rape and incest would not be something?
You know, I'm a Christian.
Right.
And I believe that God has a plan and a purpose for each one of our lives, and that He can intercede in all kinds of situations, and we need to have a little faith in many things.
I'm not sure what you're supposed to have faith in, that you can get an illegal abortion if the government makes it legal, it makes it illegal, that God will help you in some other way. I don't know what you're supposed to have faith in, but that was Republican Senate candidate Sharon Engel of Nevada. Before her, we heard from Republican Senate candidate Ken Buck of Colorado, both putting themselves down in the no exceptions category when it comes to reproductive rights. Then there's Republican Senate candidate Rand Paul of Kentucky. Back in February, Rand Paul told the Kentucky Right to Life Association that he opposes abortion even in the cases of rape or incest. Earlier this month, Republican Senate candidate Joe Miller of Alaska was added to the list. Miller has described himself as unequivocally pro-life, including cases of rape and incest. And now we have Republican Senate candidate Christine O'Donnell of Delaware. Her campaign confirming to us today that she opposes abortion in all cases, including rape and incest. Until recently, the position that those 5 Republican Senate nominees have, until recently that was considered a fringe position, even in the anti-abortion movement. Even super pro-life politicians, almost as a standard disclaimer, would say that women who are pregnant because of a rape or pregnant because of incest should be allowed an exemption, even as they wanted to make all other abortions illegal. That exemption is apparently now over. What these Republican candidates are talking about is the federal government not only monitoring every pregnancy in the country to ensure that it ends the way the government prefers, which is a live birth, but they're also saying that the government should force rape victims. The government should force rape victims under pain of criminal prosecution to give birth to their rapist's baby. The government must force that income anytime somebody becomes pregnant as the result of rape. If you are a 14-year-old girl who is raped by your uncle or by your father, the government will force you as a 14-year-old to give birth to the child that is the product of that incestuous rape. Remember, this is the year of small government conservatives, getting government out of your life. Government just small enough to... Yeah, this is obviously awkward for the whole libertarian character of this year's conservative uprising, the supposed libertarian character, the whole freedom thing, right? But it also represents a historic swing of the pendulum in terms of the emphasis on these culture war issues. Yes, maybe women will be super enthused about the idea of voting for female candidates just because those candidates are female. Maybe all sorts of voters will do like they've done in the past and vote on abortion and other women's issues, rather than just on which candidates are themselves women.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it.
Let's be completely clear about the facts here. There is no place in the world and no time in history where restricting women's reproductive rights makes a people or a nation more free or more equal. These extreme positions on abortion are, without any question, a war on American girls and women, and the fact that there are women who are both complicit and participatory in it is really neither surprising nor unprecedented. It has always been true, and it is incredibly important that we recognize that despite the fact that we can be very proud of these women and as politicians, that the question is, how do women as citizens fare on the other side of them either being elected or not elected?
It doesn't seem to me that his value system is all that much different than Christine O'Donnell's value system, or yours, for example. I think you and Karl Rove and Ms. O'Donnell pretty much in the same sphere.
What Christine O'Donnell is representing, it's not an extreme position when she just wants a smaller, smarter government and states' rights respected.
You
and all
and
those things
she
that Tea
and
Party
Rove
Americans
are
are representing.
simpatico. As I said, you and she
Right.
and Rove are simpatico in your positions.
Suppose Senator John Doe puts forth a constitutional amendment that would outlaw abortion, even in cases of rape or incest, and he asked you to attend the announcement and support him in that. Would you do it?
I would. Yes, a proposal like that, I would stand by it.